341 miles to drive today. I think I was meant to be a driver. You know, I always wanted to be a lorry driver when I was younger. I knew fuel was expensive. I was like, oh lordy. So I'm a little bit miffed. These trees, look at all these trees. There's one over there, look at that tree. There's another one. Well, good morning. You can see the nice sun. It's a chilly one this morning. It was a bit cold yesterday actually when I woke up. But today was definitely chillier. And I think it's just going to get colder the further north I go. So this is the last day of driving up to the outer nowhere of Sweden to see Ash and Marie and the gang. Spent a night in the Jumbo Hotel, which, you know, was an experience, and wasn't the best sleep. I mean, I did mention I did a piece to video, but it was quite cold actually, and noisy with the aircon or whatever it was that was blowing all the time consistently. But it was an experience to do, and yeah, cool to be in one of these. And it's bizarre really, like the Boeing 747, the jumbo jet as it's affectionately known. It's interesting really when I ask people, there's so many people I know who've never been on one, have never flown on one. You know, this is affectionately known as the Queen of the Skies, and it's odd because I think I've only, no, I'm going to say only, I think I've flown on 6 of them. And believe it or not, one was a 200 series, which was quite rare even for them, because they were normally always 400s. But I flew a 747-200 series from London Heathrow to New York JFK with British Airways. And that was a time when you were allowed to go in the cockpit. I was with my friend Will at the time, and I remember chatting to one of the cabin staff and saying, any chance of going upstairs? She went, leave it with me. And then, yeah, an hour later after dinner was served, etc., she came down to the back. We were at the back of the plane as well. She said, came down, come with me. And we went all the way up the spiral staircase, and sat in the jump seat, and I was chatting with the captain and the first officer as we were flying across the Atlantic, which was so cool. And that was in one of these. That was a 200 series. Every other time it's been with the 747-400, again with British Airways, with Air New Zealand, and with Virgin Atlantic. So it's a shame that they don't fly them anymore. Well, I say they don't fly them anymore. They are obviously still flown as cargo planes. There is the 747-800 series, which Lufthansa and I think Korean Air fly, or somewhere out in the Far East fly them as passenger variants, and I think they're the only ones that fly the Boeing 747. And you won't see a 200 in the air, I don't think, anymore. 400s all have been converted into cargo variants, and of course Boeing are still making the 747s, but they are just a cargo variant. And I think that 800 passenger variant, but I don't even know if they're making those anymore, to be honest with you. So yeah, it was a bit of a geek fest. I'm glad I've done it. Don't think I'll do it again, or unless they can fix the aircon problem or whatever it was, or just make it a bit warmer. I mean, because surely in winter that same system must blow out hot air, because even this morning I've got shots of the water, the condensation just dripping off it here and there. A couple of planes taxiing past and everything. It's been it's been really cool, and it's really weird because that was the noisiest thing, was that last night. Outside you couldn't really hear the jets, to be honest with you. You know, like, they were there but they weren't distracting in any kind of way. It was just like traffic sound. But anyway, We're all set. 341 miles to drive today. It's going to take just over 6 hours. I should get there for about 1:30, then probably we'll need to stop. I will need to get another tank of fuel. So we're just going to get on the road. It is 7:26, so just going to get going nice and early. I'll stop. I think my first stop will be probably in about an hour. I'll try and get 100 miles under the belt, and then going to get some fuel, and then get a bit of brekkie, and then carry on up there. I think the Osmo batteries are charged, etc. This is charged just in case, and if it stays like that, it's a beautiful day. Let's hope. Hopefully we'll get some really nice footage. That was a Ryanair flying past, taxiing past. God, that'd be a bit worrying if it was flying past at that level. Though then again, Ryanair probably does. Different ways of getting more interesting angles, but there's only so much you can do with one camera and just 3 windows. Doing alright, we've done well. We're about 40 miles in already, so we've got 300 miles to go to final destination. 173 miles to Sundsvall. We've just passed a little way back there, Uppsala, and it's very pleasant. Really, really pleasant. Beautiful morning. The sun rising just over there, and gorgeous, and the scenery, well, it's just epic. Lots of trees. Those are Christmas trees here. Oh, and over there. Oh, and some over there. You know what I mean. Oh, hang on, interesting bridge. Trying to make this this series interesting. I don't know. I mean, what, we're 9 days in, so that's at least 9 episodes there. I think this is going to keep me going for a little while. I don't think you'll see any of this until probably the new year. It's just been epic. Not many lakes today. I saw a lake this morning. It was not that far from the airport as I was on this motorway, and I caught it, but I didn't have time to get the camera out, and it was such a shame because it was so beautiful, because there was this mist just rising off it, and the sun low on the horizon. It looked absolutely beautiful. Unfortunately, I wasn't able, and I thought, oh, it's okay, I'll get the next lake. And then I looked at Maps.me, and there's not a lake in sight, which is strange. Seeing as the amount of lakes that we've passed, yet this section is all, yeah, it's very sort of flat and kind of, yeah, pasture land, like farmland and everything. So yeah, not many lakes, but I guess it will get quite interesting probably in another 50 miles or so, maybe more, because then on this right hand side we'll start to see the sea. I think it's called the Bothnian Sea? Oh, Bothnian Sea? What's it say here? It told me. I tried to be really clever and remember it, and I fucking forgot. And that's the sea that separates the mainland of Sweden and the mainland of Finland. And as you go further up, Finland and Sweden then meet. Of course, Norway and Sweden have got a border all the way up north until Norway actually then goes over the top of Sweden and then goes over the top of Finland. And yeah, beautiful. But the scenery here is just beautiful. I absolutely love it. I can see the appeal and why Ash and Marie are here. I can see why Ash fell in love with this place when he first came here on his first trip with the Beast on the original Lost in Europe tour. And yeah, and it's so amazing to drive on. I mean, this motorway, it's a 2-lane motorway, but it's just hardly any traffic. You know, the foot's just sat there. We're doing just a nice steady 65 miles an hour, and everything is all lovely. And I'm just in my element here, you know. I think I was meant to be a driver. You know, I always wanted to be a lorry driver when I was younger. Don't know why I never pursued. Why I didn't pursue that career. Because I love driving, and you know, I'll drive for miles and miles. Like, you've seen this cockpit. I mean, look at it. You know, I've got the phone, one sat nav down there, another sat nav here. You know, the CB radio, the VHF radio. Never use them. Nothing going on there. There's an old CD player and radio built in there, part of the original van. And I don't play any music. Don't play any podcasts. I think on this whole journey, the only time I was playing music was when I was driving from Shaftesbury to Dover and I had Spotify on. Well, that's because I had loads of data. And it was hot and had the window open and everything. But in general, when I drive, I very, very rarely play any music, or I'm literally quite happy to just be driving with my own thoughts, you know. And I know those thoughts can be dark sometimes, but when I'm driving, I don't know, it's sort of, I just love to, you know, I clock stuff, I look at stuff and go off into this little fantasy world of mine, you know. This whole journey, yeah, pretty much on mainland Europe, I've not played any music or anything. It's literally just me and my thoughts, me picking up the camera every now and then, chatting to you guys, and that's it. I think CJ did a thing where he passes the time on these long journeys just by playing podcasts and stuff like that. You don't really, do you know, I don't think I've ever listened to a podcast at all. And I get them, and I think I would like them, and you know, or like a book being read, or you know, a novel being read, or something like that. But at the same time, it's like, you know, if there's nothing there, the trip I did to Ukraine, because I was with Karen was getting bored all the time, so she wanted music and she wanted this and that, and But that's fine, if you've got someone there and you're chatting and everything, you can have a laugh and a giggle and you can talk about things that you observe and what have not. But even then, I mean, she got pretty bored with my conversation, as do most people. And so then she'd have to play music or what have not. And I don't mind music, you know, it's nice to have a little sing-along and a little boogie. But given a choice, this is me. No music, no nothing, just the road, the sound of the engine just humming away, and me and my thoughts. I absolutely love it. Anyways, enough of that waffle for a bit. 293 miles to go. So where the lanes are narrower, and looking ahead, you've got 3 lanes basically, but it shares the joy. So for a little bit, this is single lane, and then becomes 2 lanes where you can overtake slow traffic, etc. But then it goes back to 1 lane again. When it goes back to 1 lane, the other side is now 2 lanes. As you can see here, look, we now go into 2. The other side is now 1. So I was wondering when it was all going to stop, because I thought to myself, it can't be motorway all the way up there. So I think this might be the score now. So, which is fine, and the road is good, and everything's fine, and I'm still doing it 65 and everything like that. But it does mean that you've got to navigate around lorries only at particular points and sections. And you've got to have your wits a little bit about you now, because yeah, the lanes are narrower. There's no hard shoulder. There's a bit of a hard shoulder, but then it goes onto a bank. So yeah, you really don't want to go off there, because you could end up in some serious doo-doo. So I'm going to stop soonish. 21 minutes. Because I'm going to get to a point where I'm going to need some more fuel. I was hoping I was going to get at least another 20 miles. The light's not come on yet, so I could risk it for a biscuit. There's 8 miles to the next services on this road, according to TomTom. So, do I go for that, or do I chance it and go for the next one? If I do go for the next one, I'm pretty sure my fuel light's going to come on. That's only going to give me, when the fuel light comes on, I've got approximately around about 40 miles, maybe a bit more, before I run out. Okay, so I got a little bit panicky-wanicky, but only like just for like a little smidge. I'm okay now. So on the sat nav, the TomTom, down the right hand side, it will tell you where the services are, and it will tell you how many miles to a services. But I think those are only services that are kind of directly linked to the highway itself. I wanted to try and get so that we're now 102 miles to Sundsvall, and I wanted to be able to get so that I was under or less than 100 to go before I needed to fill up. I was like, oh. Anyway, I missed a fuel station way back there, and I chanced it, but nothing has come up, and still nothing has come up on here. And now my fuel light's come on. The fuel light came on a few miles back. Normally, I've tried it before, I'm doing now 60, so as long as I'm taking it nice and easy, I'm normally good for about 40-45 miles when that light comes on. So when it came on, there was 104 miles left to Sundsvall. We're now at 102, so it's only been on for a couple of miles. But I've been noticing this sign for Burger King, and it says it in minutes, and it said it about, I don't know, 40 minutes ago or what have not. The first time I saw it, it said 51 minutes or something like that, 52 minutes to Burger King. And then I saw another one, it was like 30 minutes, and then it's 20 minutes to Burger King or something like that. And I'm thinking, well, if there's a Burger King, there must be some kind of fuel station. And it said something about Tunnelbro or something like that. Anyway, the lights come on, I'm getting a little bit... But then I saw an official sign saying food outlet, petrol, etc. at Tunnelbro, and it's 10 kilometers away. So we're okay. So we're going to fill up, we're going to get into this next place, we're going to fill up with fuel, we're going to fill me up with fuel, I'm going to get a coffee on the go, and here it is, look, Tunnelbro, and 3k, 3 kilometers for fuel. This is good. Okay, so I just filled up. It's £1,500. Yeah, I knew fuel was expensive, but it's like, oh lordy. We are by a motorway, potentially it's cheaper in town, I don't know, I'll have to chat with Ash and find out what the deal is. But what a cool service this. I can't find a Burger King, I keep seeing signs for it, but anyway, I thought, you know what, it's quite early in the morning, we won't have a Burger King, but I've got myself a Starbucks coffee and a couple of little pastries, so that should do. But look at this. So I thought I'd take you down to the lake, and like I've been in Sweden now for what, 2 days, and I've yet to set foot at a lake shore. So here we go. This is me next to my first lake in Sweden. And look at that, that's beautiful. Absolutely stunning here. I was able to use the toilet, so as well as filling up, I emptied. I know it's more information than you need, but you know, it's a travel vlog, isn't it? You know, you've got to tell people, and there's some nice toilets here. It's lovely, picnic benches. I think this must be some kind of restaurant. Maybe this is the Burger King here and stuff. But we're okay. I think I'm gonna have this coffee. This will perk me up with those little pastries, and then we'll maybe get lunch further up the road and stuff, probably sort of like Sundsvall or something like that. But anyway, on we go. Full tank of fuel. We're good to go. you know what's been quite interesting? In fact, well, it's not a fact, it's just an observation about this trip, is, I mean, I can't think of how many miles in I am now into this journey. It's many miles, you know, it's a journey that's over 1,000 miles in one direction. I mean, I've probably done about 1,000 miles or so. That might be just on the continent. And what I found quite interesting is that how few British registered vehicles I have seen on this trip. And I'm a bit staggered by it in a way. It's because I've not seen one British vehicle in Sweden so far. I don't think I saw a British vehicle in Denmark. And to date, over this whole trip, since crossing over the channel and getting off at Calais, I kid you not, I think I've only seen 5 British registered vehicles on this whole trip. And 2 or 3 of them were in Belgium. I think there were 2 in Germany. That's it. Was it 3 in Germany? I can't remember now. I haven't seen any British trucks. I've seen a couple of Irish registered trucks, but no UK. And it just got me thinking, because I mean, I remember, like, you know, I've travelled around Europe for many years and stuff. You know, when I was travelling for 2 years with the theatre company Covenant Players, you know, I travelled all over, predominantly German, you know, Sweden, Finland, all of Italy, Sicily, and you know, that you would always see like other UK vehicles and stuff like that. And I don't know, there was always a thing, you know, it was like even driving last year to Ukraine. Again, hardly any. I think saw 2 that were actually taking aid over in that 1,000-mile plus journey across to Romania. And there used to be a time when you'd see more. I haven't seen like any motorhomes, nothing. And is it just because the UK just don't travel anymore in motorhomes? They're not travelling abroad, or UK people just want to go on package holidays and just fly to destinations and stuff like that? Is it to do with the 90-day rule-in, that they don't want to waste time driving? Or I mean, 90 days is still, you know, that's still, what, 3 months? It's a long time. Look at this for a stretch of road. So I'm a little bit miffed as to what is what. Now, my inkling is to go with the TomTom because that was set up for no tolls, I think. But on the Maps.me it does say something about there being a toll. I don't know if it's a bridge or something, I really don't know. Maybe I should stop at some point. They both go into the same place, same village. But yeah, there's a 40-mile difference, and what with the cost of fuel and stuff like that, time isn't the issue here. Still going to get me in the same time, roughly, but saving 40 miles in fuel, you know, is good. So yeah. Anyway, the roads are getting more interesting as well. There's suddenly a lot more sort of single carriageway. I've been behind a lorry for quite a while. There's another lorry now in front. There's not as many opportunities to overtake. Going through a few villages with like crossroads, so you have to slow down to 80 then to 60 kilometers an hour. But the countryside is, the views are stunning. It's just so beautiful, and it's such a beautiful day with this beautiful sunshine and blue sky, and these trees. I mean, look at all these trees. There's one over there, look at that tree. There's another one. Look, over there, look, there's some trees over there. It's just everywhere you look, there's just trees. Oh, hang on, here we go. Overtaking time, but I'm in 5th. That's not going to do me good. Go on, Neo. Go on, son. You want some? I'll give you some. Oh, Neo. I'll tell you what, when he wants to, he does not fly. He can really give it the beans, Neo. So, yeah, so what I might need to do is just investigate this Maps.me one, because I do think there is actually 2 routes. I remember when I was looking on Google Earth, there are 2 routes to get to where Ash is, you see. So maybe that's what the TomTom's done. It's take one route, I must admit, did look shorter than the other, but it was a lot more windier. So let's see if I can get them to change this setting and see if I can get it to read the same. And then we'll see what's occurred. There's some lovely little houses and plots of land and everything like that. Just caught my first view of the sea between Sweden and Finland. I thought I was going to see it earlier, to be honest with you, but obviously messed up my calculations in terms of distance and mileage and goodness knows what. You know, I am prone to error. There it is. I've seen this bridge in, what, 2-3 people's videos. So to now see it, this is all a reality now. Still a ways to go, but a lot closer than this morning. it is so worthwhile. It's been incredibly special. You know, there's obviously, for me, there's been the 3 bucket list items that I've done now. Those couple of days, 3 days with Ava, and being able to witness the start of her new chapter was very, very special. I'm really looking forward to seeing her again on the way back. But it's just been an incredible journey. You know, it's taken in some epic sights. Let's say ticked off a load of boxes for me, and again teaches something about myself, in that I'm this stubborn so-and-so that just keeps going. You know, like Neo, he's such a good boy, and I think this is what I need in life. For me, I need goals, I need things that give me something to strive for and to be excited about, and you know, if I could do this all the time, I would. You know, if only people would watch my channel and I was able to make money out of it, but it's just never going to be. And you know, my trade is what it is. Unfortunately, it's land-based. Well, not necessarily land-based, but it's fixed to a, you know, a theatre, but you know, if I could jack it all in and do something else, or someone gave me an opportunity to, I don't know, be on the road or what have not, I would take it, as long as I can still contribute into my pension. But here's the thing, you see, this is the point, when you get to a certain age and everything, and it's all a matter of making plans for the future and security and everything like that, and that's all I've got at the moment. I don't really have any security, I suppose. Just putting things in place which can hopefully help my 2 babies, but and you know, doing this, I mean, it's not kind of on a whim. I've always wanted to do this trip. The moment that Ash and Marie moved out here, I was always like, oh god, I can't wait to go and see you guys. And you know, but it's a financial commitment, you know, and yeah, I can't afford it. But you know, sometimes it isn't about affording stuff. To me, sometimes it's about the time. It's about making the time, and if you've got the time, use the time, because time's hard to get back. I can pay off the credit cards, I can pay off this and that, but time, you'll never get that back. And now is the time for me to do this trip. And you know, I've been lucky enough to know people like Ash and CJ and consider these 2 amazing men as friends, and you know, to go and to support their lives in what they're doing is an honour and a privilege, and to have this opportunity now to see Ash and Marie living the life and the existence that I've always hankered for myself. And quite recently, watching this whole trip unfold on CJ's channel and everything, and here I am now doing the same thing myself. It's just like, God, this is just like 1 in a million. So I'm glad I could share this with you guys. I really am, you know, and who knows, over however many episodes this is going to take, I don't know, I'll probably there's a lot of footage, there's a lot of content. I might break it down into small little 15-minute pieces, who knows. And then there's still the journey back, which is going to be as epic, you know, but done in a shorter time, I guess. But I'm glad I could share this journey, which, you know, this was the big one. Yeah, seeing my daughter, doing the bucket list, and seeing Asha Marie and the gang. Oh, tantalisingly close now. I think I've had all my fillings just shaken out. And it's all looking familiar, but I've got to be careful now. Because with the state of this road, if I drop a bollock now, unfortunate. Oh my days. Stuff is kind of looking familiar. Left turn, Clyde. Oh my days. Smooth road. This I expected. Look, that back there. God, blimey. This is the bridge. Goes over the river. This is the left-hand turn, Clyde.